Pascal. You are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild. Haitian in the building, so original. Got the haters catching feelings. Get your hands up to the ceiling and keep them held high. Cause St. Louis is ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold on, we just saying hi. Five somebody rise up. Weekdays, just live somebody. Let's go.
Good morning. Good afternoon and good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Pascal Show. Happy Friday, Monday. Wow. See, I'm already having the case of the Mondays already. But happy Monday to every single last one of y'all. Hope you guys are all doing well out there. Hope this show finds you in wonderful spirits, as we do need more than anything in the world. And let me make sure that there's no echo. It doesn't look like there's an echo in here. But hopefully you guys are all doing well out here. And it's a Monday. A day above the ground is always a blessing. Let's not forget that. Just a little bit of a wake-up call for all y'all that are out here watching the show, tuning in, and all that stuff to get the information revolving around this particular case. This is a short one, guys. I know. I have it's famous last words. I always say that, and it ends up being like 3 hours long. But today is a very short one. Why? Because there's a lot going on today. Very, very action-packed day for myself. Very, very action-packed day for you guys as well. We have a show tonight with a very special guest coming on to the show. I will tell you more about that in a little bit. I'm looking forward to that conversation. And it has to do with something that happened today. There's an anniversary of something tragic that happened today that we got to talk about. It's been 42 years since this tragedy happened. That's all I'm going to give you. I'll explain a little bit later. I promise you, okay? But we got an exclusive tonight, and I'll explain all of that in a little while. Please do me a favor. Before we get into everything, do me a solid. Hit that like button down below. Crush it. Make it do what it do. All right. Hit that reaction button if you're watching on other platforms. If you are watching on those other platforms, please be sure to crush that follow button on my Facebook, X/Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. I'm on all of them, guys. So show some love. Become a follower on those platforms, okay? Don't forget to subscribe here on my main channel, The Pascal Show. Of course, you're watching right here, so you already know the main channel. But go over to my secondary channel as well. Subscribe to my secondary channel, The Pascal Show Clips. Okay, we got a big variety show coming out to you guys tonight, like I said. So if you're not wanting to see the whole show, there will be clips later on in the evening and in the morning, the following morning, following the show of our variety show. So be sure to hit that subscribe button on my secondary channel, The Pascal Show Clips. Of course, hit that join button down below. Become a member of the channel, okay? Your boy's working hard out here in these streets, dag nabbit. So show some love if you can by hitting that join button down below. Also, if you want to support even further, go check out Patreon. Patreon.com/The Pascal Show. It's in the ticker down below me, going that way as we speak. And of course, my merch store is open. So please go over there. Become a member. Support the show. Check out some merch. See the Monday? I haven't done the show in a couple days. So it's like getting the cobwebs, getting the juices flowing again. But anyway, please, again, please check out PascalMerch.com. We got some really great t-shirts. We got some new stuff now on the website, new t-shirt designs and all that. So go check those things out, okay? All righty then. Now we got to get into this conversation, guys. Just to be completely honest, we have been covering and been following this case revolving around Mamta Kafle, okay? Now she went missing. She is still missing, by the way. She has not been found at all right? But her now husband, okay, by the name of Naresh Bhatt, has been arrested, okay, in connection to her disappearance. The police are saying that she was unalived by him, okay? But he has not caught that charge yet. The only charge that he has gotten so far is concealing of a unalive body, which is really, really odd and really, really strange, in my personal opinion, because it seems like they gave him half of what's really to come. But right now, he has not been charged. for the unaliving, the alleged unaliving of Mamta. Okay. Now, the things that have transpired, the things that we have seen since we started reporting this case, there's been a lot of stuff that has been very, very surprising. Let's be real. The evidence that was found inside the home, things that Naresh was doing before, during, and after her disappearance, okay, that lead us down the road of, I don't think that this is going to end in a very positive sunshine and daffodils type of ending. Unfortunately, this may be a situation where this young mother may be gone for good. Now, it's a matter, I think, at this point, it's not a rescue, right? It's a recovery of her remains. That's just where I feel the mode has shifted to. Okay, and I think that's what law enforcement is looking is how law enforcement is looking at this situation as well. Now, I know there's some people out here that go, well, maybe Naresh didn't really do this thing. Maybe he had nothing to do with this. Well, the thing is that there's been a lot of information that has dropped. Okay, I mean, first off, the way that he was taken out, led out of his own house after they went and did a very, very fine-tooth comb through of this house. And then he suddenly gets hit with a charge, concealing of an unalive body. To me, like I said, I've said it a million times in other shows before, it just seems like they're just missing a number. We already know the sum. And it's easy math, right? It's the 2 plus blank equals 4 type of equation. It's very easy. You know what I mean? You just need to throw the other number in there. But unfortunately, they don't have the other number because they don't have Mamta. And from what we're gathering and what we're understanding is that Naresh has not confessed to doing this unthinkable act. In fact, he's lying through his teeth. We heard in other shows, in recent events, about him constantly changing the narrative, changing the story to police, of all people. You shouldn't be changing the narrative to police. If you're innocent, you don't change the narrative with police, because they're going to hold on to what you say first. The first thing you say, it is scripture from that point on. It is etched in stone. But what he said to them is, yeah, she went to New York to visit family. Then allegedly he changed the story and said she went to Texas to meet up and see family. When in actuality, she has no family in the Americas. So why would she go visit family that don't even live or reside in America? Like I said, this turns into a type of situation. But that's a dun 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 part one. And then there's more. We start to find out that he went out to separate stores outside of his own little community, his own little bubble, to go buy knives, to buy cleaning supplies, and all kinds of things days before she disappeared. Now we're understanding that he did something even more dumb. You're going to be like, what did he do? What did he do that was so dumb, Pascal? Yeah, he used his Googles. I'm just, okay. First off, thank you. Technology. I love you, Google. You know, because without you, we wouldn't find out some things. This man had some plans. In fact, I'll just give you one of the Google searches that he put out that they found out, because they went into his computer, went through the Google search, and found that he was actually looking and trying to find out how long does it take for one to, what is the proper time the amount of time to remarry after your wife passes away. I'm just saying. I'm sorry I'm using the horn a lot today. I'm just very that sounds weird. I'm not going to go there. But I'm using the horn a lot for a reason. Okay? Because this is some crazy stuff. And this is when dumb criminals do dumb-ish. But he went through his Googles, and they went through his Googles, and they found that he was looking things up days before he's alleged, because we haven't found it yet, of exacting this unbelievable unaliving. Let's not forget the things that were found inside the home. They say volumes of blood that seemed as if her body was dragged out of the house, that he went and bought. And I can't say the pokey so much. Okay, so we're going to use kniff. All right. The thing that you use to cut a steak and so on. Some people like to use it to hurt people with as a weapon. Just so you know, I call it a kniff now. So he went and bought a kniff. 3 of them. 2 of those, that 3 set are gone. Disappeared. No longer existing. Oh, they disappeared along with Mamta. Okay? So they've done a lot finding out the stuff that was going on inside the house. Let's not forget the things that were found inside the house, aside from just the blood. Okay? The knives that were gone. He had suitcases out. In fact, they say now that there were his daughter's passport and his passport were found just sitting on the countertop. He sold his Tesla. Yeah, the dude had a Tesla. Okay? And he was in the middle of trying to sell his home. Now, let me tell you another thing. Aside from telling police a different story every time. Oh, yeah, she went to New York. No, she went to Texas to visit family when family don't exist here. Okay, her family don't live here. He also was going, and he had his passports out. He had suitcases out. He sold his car. He was selling his house. And this is all around the same time that Mamta is missing. This wasn't something that he was planning and doing for the past, couple weeks, and then she just disappeared. No, he was doing this while she was gone and disappeared. So in other words, he was hitching rides from everybody to get to these press conferences and these interviews because he sold his car and he was in the middle of selling his home. So let me tell you something. Dude, be a flight risk for sure. Let's be real. That is a flight risk, if you ask me. Now, today, this morning, just a little bit ago, they had another hearing for his age. This time, it was a bond hearing. And guess what? His bond was denied. Why do you think his bond was denied, everybody? Not only the fact that Mamta's missing and what he did, I'm sure, is absolutely disturbing, okay, to her. And honestly, there's still a little glimmer of hope I have in my heart that she is found alive and well. But I don't think that that's going to be the case, unfortunately. Okay? He does this, and then, of course, he's packing his stuff up. He's selling everything he owns so that he can kick rocks, so they can run. Bond is denied, which I'm absolutely happy about. But this piece of work, allegedly, was terrible to his wife. Now we're starting to understand that there was a history of some real DV going on inside that home. We also now hear and learn that she allegedly had outlets, or that she was given ways out, but she never took them, which makes me wonder why as well. So we got a couple things. We got an article to look at here. But again, what really frustrates me is that this young woman was basically in a house of hell. And then when she finally was ready to leave, this man did, allegedly, the most unthinkable thing you can ever do to a person. But what also is revealed within these Google searches, within him shopping at the local Walmarts, 2 separate ones, and all that, it shows premeditation. It shows that this was premeditated. Absolutely. Now, I got this article I want to share with you guys, okay? This just dropped, and I wanted to share this with you guys. We do have a press conference, like a little bit of a press conference outside of the hearing. They speak a little bit more on the history of DV and all that, because apparently people knew about this, that allegedly there was DV going on in the house. And I mean, real talk. I mean, are we really surprised about that? I'm not. I'm not surprised about that at all. But then again, let me say this too, let me add that too. There are cases where men or women, okay, because DV happens on both sides of the fence here, okay? Men can be victims just like women, but there have been stories where a man just snaps and does the unthinkable without a history of DV and vice versa, okay? But in this particular case, this does not look like a case where he just snapped. He just didn't like the fact that she wanted to separate and leave him and all that. No, I think that they clearly talk about the fact that there is a history of DV here. And again, like I said, in this particular situation, I'm not surprised about that at all. Okay. But now he is held without bond because, let's be real, he is a flight risk. And also, he's a menace. He's a danger to his own neighborhood, his own town. Absolutely. For what he has done, what he's alleged of doing, because let's be real, they don't have the weapon, okay, or the weapons, and they definitely do not have Mamta, not yet at least. But I keep thinking that give it time, okay? Give it time. I'm hoping that maybe something will happen here very soon, that he'll wake up and he'll finally say, hey, it's time to do the right thing and tell the truth. That's what I'm hoping for. I honestly think that he confessed to something with her, saying, oh, yeah, because why would he get charged unless it's just the evidence alone in which he got arrested for the concealing of a body? Maybe that's the only reason why. But there's the other theory I have, that maybe he confessed to say, hey, I walked in the room and I saw her gone and I freaked out and I moved her body. Maybe that's what he said. And maybe he didn't. But again, I don't think this is somebody, from the interviews that we've seen, he does not come off like the kind of guy that feels remorseful. It almost seems like he feels justified in everything. Remember that one moment? I kept replaying it because he was like, the reporter's like, you're feeling terrified, you're in pain, and you said something about you are in pain, or that that you're getting tortured, and he's like, yes, I'm getting tortured. It's me, I am, and my daughter is, and all that stuff, and it was so disconnected to the reality of the situation that I was like, no, that tells me this man did something to her for sure. Because it feels like seems as if he was justified, right? Justified in taking this woman's life. It's crazy. Well, let's take a look at this, guys. All right. And okay, of course, it says the judge said that Naresh poses a danger to the community and is a flight risk. Obviously. All right. So we got a couple things we got to break down in here. Okay. And then we got this little press conference from family, friends, etc., speaking out after the bond hearing that literally just happened about maybe an hour ago. Okay. So a judge has ruled Naresh be held without bond during a hearing in court Monday morning. A judge said Bhatt, Naresh, was considered a flight risk following his arrest for disposing of a body last week. Okay. The judge also said he posed a danger to the community. Of course. Now, we already know that the police had found evidence that a body had been dragged and large amounts of red were evident at the home of Mamta Kafle. Okay. According to court documents from her husband's arraignment Friday morning. Now, that was from last Friday. In documents, okay, an officer wrote that police found a substantial amount of digital and forensic evidence and that police believe Naresh unalived Mamta and attempted to cover it up. Okay. There was evidence in the residence indicating the body was inside the residence and dragged out of the residence. That's what an officer wrote in a criminal complaint. Naresh has been charged for concealing of a unalived body. We got to use these code words, unfortunately, guys, okay? On Friday, Mamta's loved ones heard the gruesome picture prosecutors are painting during Naresh's arraignment in Prince William Court. The volume of red, okay, code words, said Hollyworth, okay? This is apparently one of her former colleagues. They used the words blood pooling, okay? They identified large volumes of what looked like stains, okay, of red. Investigators say they found the Bhatt home in disarray. The evidence of red, mainly in the primary bedroom and corresponding bathroom. They are still waiting on test results to come back to confirm whether or not the red is actually Mamta's. Now, I'm going to be real. She's missing, right? She's nowhere to be found, right? Then you go into the house that's in absolute disarray. And then I guess they use that spray throughout the bedroom, throughout everywhere in the house. And they see a significant amount of red in the bedroom and then a significant amount of red in the bathroom. Now, of course, you got to do your due diligence to make sure that this is not another victim or that it's not actually Naresh's own blood. But at the same time, y'all, she's missing. It's their main bedroom. Okay. Yeah, we can reverse math this pretty quickly. Can't we? Let's move on. While we have while we have all had our own ideas. Wow, I could not process that line. I don't think the horrific nature is what we expected to hear today. So she's been missing for 3 weeks, which we already know. Okay. We already know about the timeline about the welfare check, and it took him 3 days to finally report her missing, but he tried to blame it on the police for what the police told him to do and all that stuff. Okay. Now, of course, we already know that the organized searches have been going on for weeks. Okay. After she was reported missing. So that's pretty crazy. All right. She was arrested the next day. He was arrested the next day on charges of concealing of a body. Okay. Now, here's some more information here. Additionally, prosecutors say July 30th, Naresh purchased 3 knives. Okay. 2 of which have not been found. Investigators say there is video evidence of Naresh buying cleaning supplies the very next day. Clearly, he bought those knives. He did the act. He went back to another Walmart, picked up cleaning supplies after he had done this unthinkable act. That's what I believe. Okay. Prosecutors say Naresh sold his Tesla the week he was arrested and even tried to sell his home. When investigators got inside the house, they say the husband and father had packed up with his and his daughter's passports in plain sight. He was ready to kick rocks. He is only being charged with concealing of a body at this point because prosecutors haven't presented evidence that actually show that he did this unthinkable thing to his wife. Naresh claimed Mamta destroyed her own phone before disappearing, prosecutors say. But the phone kept receiving messages and calls up until August 1st. Like I said, this is a dumbass criminal. Okay? Dumbass criminal. He dumb. Okay? So, it was receiving text messages and phone calls up until the August 1st, when the phone actually ended up running out of juice. Him dumb. Okay? Dumb. Oh, she destroyed the phone and then she took off, but she was still receiving text messages and phone calls. Word. All right. Investigators say the last cell tower that her phone made a connection was in the Loudoun County. I don't know how to pronounce that. I know somebody's going to be writing it in there phonetically going, but I don't know. Okay. This particular county. But what's interesting is what Naresh was saying. Naresh allegedly told police he was at a cafe in that same county around the same time the phone pinged. So it's Loudoun. Okay, thank you, Loudoun. So he was in the same county, Loudoun County, okay? Same doggone one. When the phone pinged. In other words, he had the phone in his hands. And then I don't know why. What made him think, I'm quite thirsty, quite parched. Need to go to the cafe and get me a latte. All this murder, mayhem's bothering me. I need some caffeine. So he goes over to the cafe with her phone in his pocket, on his body, or maybe in the car. And the doggone thing is still on. But he says she destroyed the phone before she disappeared. But the phone's with him while he's going and getting a nice little macchiato. So explain that to me, guys. Like I said, he's dumb. He's a dumbass criminal. Okay? Dumbass. Anyway, during Friday's hearing, his attorney called the case a media frenzy and said they had no actual evidence. Oh my dear God. You don't think the blood and the all the stuff that's in the house and the fact that the phone pinged and this is what this is the one thing I feel bad for lawyers that are representing dumber criminals, because they got to sing for their supper. They got to eat too. Was he assigned this, or is he getting paid for the job to represent this piece of trash? I'm just saying, think about it for a second. Because that his lawyer's like, see, now the media frenzy, it's just insane. And the prosecutors, Your Honor, they have no actual evidence. Forget the blood. Forget there's proof there was a body being dragged out of his home. Forget the fact that he sold his Tesla and was trying to sell his home. The fact that he was trying to flee the country. Your Honor, forget all that. The prosecution has no actual evidence, sir. None whatsoever, Your Honor. Come on, guys. Yeah. Let's continue on, though. He asked for Naresh to be released. Hell no. Hell Hell to the no. Hell no. But the judge ordered that he be held on no bond at his hearing Monday morning. Okay. Now we already know that he's, spoken to police and spoken to the media and has been very, very weird. Okay. He's been angry. He's like, I don't want to look like the bad guy because I'm not the bad guy. You know what I mean? He's doing all that crap, right? And his lawyer's literally singing for his supper. That's what he's doing. Okay. He tried that though. He tried it, No particular evidence, no actual evidence, Your Honor. They have nothing, sir. This man deserves to be free. If he gets free, he gonna run. Mamta's nowhere to be found. Mamta's nowhere to be found, guys. Why let this man kick rocks? Or, why let him free? Because you get him 2 seconds. He gets 2 seconds. He gone. Probably not with the baby anymore because the baby is with CPS right now. Thank you to the sweet baby Jesus on that. But still, he's like, forget the kid and kick rocks. Bond denied, everybody. Bond mother-loving denied. Thank you, God, for that. Carbonize, thank you so much for the love. This is your Monday Minder. Google gonna tell. Yes, it will. Dag nabbit. Google, I love you. Especially when you catch these mother-loving doomer criminals. I appreciate it. Woo! It makes my heart sing. Like when the situation with the Brian Walsh, right? Anna Walsh, the whole thing, still very, very sad, very messed up. But the fact that Google says everything, you know what I mean? Google gonna give it to you. You know what I'm saying? He gonna get you. I'm just happy about it. He was looking things up. I'm telling you right now, we're going to look at that. We're going to hear that in a second here, okay? In this press conference that they have here, okay? And I mean, yeah, Google going to run and tell that. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, okay? Especially if you're criming, okay? The other stuff, I don't know, guys, But when you criming, that's bad, okay? Forget all what is the health benefits of castor oil? Forget all that. I'm talking about when you're saying how to remove a body. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. Bad. Thank you, Google. Thank you. So let's continue. And do me a favor, guys, by the way. Please do me a favor. Hit that like button down below, please, please. That's all I ask, okay? Hit the like button, damn it, okay? Hit the reaction button too, because your man is working really hard out here in these streets. So hit that reaction button. And then, one more thing. Follow me on my socials, Facebook, X/Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. I work really hard. Hit that subscribe button as well, okay? Thank you. All right. Oh, and check out my PascalMerch.com store. Yeah. Stop. I know my stuff be fire. Stop it. Stop it, you. Stop it. I know my stuff be fire, though. So go check it out. You don't even know. Some of y'all are like, I don't know what PascalMerch.com, what you be talking about. Go check it out. That's all I'm saying. Just take a look. I'm sure you'll like it. Let's get into this, guys. Some very interesting stuff being told in this right here. So let's take a look. Takes a minute to get rev up, but we should be getting in there in just a second because this was from a live, okay? I agree 110%, Lil Patty. Thank God.
I think we all stand here feeling very relieved. Bond was denied. We were preparing ourselves that it may not be. We came prepared today to trust the Commonwealth to do what they needed to do, but we also knew there was a possibility that he may be granted bond. And I think we're all here with a tremendous sense of relief that Naresh Bhatt remains where he needs to be, which is in custody. So thank you to the Commonwealth. Thank you to the judge. We know this isn't based on our wishes. This is grounded in law, and we need to go on record and say that. There were a lot of things that came out in court today that we were not expecting. Mr. Bott's defense attorney went on the record calling this a quote media frenzy, making accusations that Chief Lugo was pressured into taking action, and really, I think, shame the community for the hard work that has been happening. And you know what? We were vindicated. This is not a media frenzy. This was not based on pressure. This is based in case law and statutes. And again, Mr. Bott is where he needs to be. The judge went on the record saying that he did meet statutes. Hear this loud and clear. He is a danger to society. He is a flight risk, and he needs to stay locked up.
Damn right.
We're certainly opening to take questions or share anything that we heard in the hearing today.
Holly, your reaction to what we've heard in court today about the Turkey. That was new for everybody today. What is your reaction to that?
One, thank you to the Secret Service. This was the first we heard that the Secret Service was a partner in this investigation. And I will say I was astonished. I think it goes to show perhaps premeditation. Again, we are not the judge or the jury, but it does sound like there's indication of premeditation. The Google searches made it clear that in April, Mr. Bott was looking to see how soon can I remarry after my spouse dies, and what does it mean when your wife dies or your spouse dies, something to those.
Did you hear that? Let me just repeat this. He Googled, okay, in his computer before she passed, how long one should wait to get married after your wife passes. Very interesting. That's the other part I found interesting too, S-Dubs, that Secret Service was involved in this investigation as well. But you know, this one didn't have anything to do with slopey roofs. Moving on though.
Here in August, so I think it does allude to premeditation.
Hold on, I'm rolling that back.
Does it mean when your wife dies or your spouse dies, something to those. And that was in April. Please know we're standing here in August, so I think it does allude to premeditation.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We were so nervous when he was showing all details of this is not right and so on. Absolutely. I was shaking like crazy. I turn around with all my friends, my community people here. We are standing beside each other and pulling our hands and praying. Let me make it clear, prayed. Because when defense was saying so many things, I was shaking. Let me make it clear. It was very painful to hear that.
Also, I mean, for the first time, we actually heard, what's been talked about a lot, but the actual domestic violence that was going on actually now presented. I think now that it's being as evidence, I know you guys have been hesitant because, you didn't want to talk beyond what you could, but now hearing that this is part now of the case that they're looking forward, I mean.
Again, this was read into the record, and I wrote it down. Mamta was a victim of domestic abuse. It is in the record. We've been trying to respect her privacy, and all of us have seen and heard and gotten text of things that we did not want to share to respect her privacy. But
do you hear that? Yes. That man looked it up. Okay. This man looked it up in advance. Okay. Then also, the fact that they say that they have text messages, they have written proof of her talking about her being a victim of DV. And I feel like when we're seeing something like this, yeah. Okay. Absolutely. There is a history of DV here without a question. I mean, we shouldn't even be sitting here, battling that question, right? There clearly is a history of DV. And I'm going to say this too, guys, just a kind and friendly reminder. All right. If you are watching this and you are a survivor, if you are surviving, okay, you are going through it right now as we speak, please don't forget that you are not alone. Because I know everyone forgets from time to time and feels alone. And that's more than just victims of DV. I'm talking about other people as well, from depression, people who have gone through child trauma, etc. Right? It's nice to have a reminder that you are not alone. And I'm speaking to you DV survivors that are surviving right now as we speak. You really feel like you don't know how to get out. Maybe you think that there is no way out. Please give this phone number a call, okay? 1-800-799-7233, okay? 1-800-799-7233. I'm hoping that you make that phone call. There is somebody on the other line that can help you, okay? Just want to share that with you guys. Because again, something like this really irks and really aggravates me. It irks my soul. It aggravates me and makes me very upset. With all the jokes that I throw out, all that kind of stuff. When it comes to this stuff, this is not a laughing matter, okay? We really do need to find new ways of protecting and helping the ones that are in need, especially, I mean, for all people, but in this particular subject matter, this particular conversation, the ones that are literally saying out loud, my husband or my wife is doing this, this, and this, and I don't know what to do. It's scary. But there's got to be some sort of way that we can help. Because again, you're going to hear in a second, aside from her saying it out loud to somebody at least, they're not disclosing the names of the people that she disclosed it to, but she did say it to somebody. And here's the thing. I'm not here to put blame on anyone at all, because it's a very faulty bridge to walk across. It's a very sticky situation to approach for someone who's if you are on the outside receiving that information. Do you get involved? Do you not get involved? So on and so forth. I sit here and I urge people, please, in any way, shape, or form you can, in the most diplomatic way, where it doesn't create more mess, cause more problems, whatever it may be, hear them out, hear that victim out, and do whatever you can do in the most proper way possible to help. It is interesting. You hear it in here, and you're going to hear more in a second. And I just keep wondering. I pose the question to you guys, right? And I'm posing the question to even other people that watch this 5 years from now, okay? This conversation or whatever. What can we do? The ones that are receiving the information. When you get a friend saying, I need help. Or when you got a friend saying he or she put their hands on me. That's one conversation I feel like we haven't really gotten into. And I'm not talking about on the show. I'm talking about out here in society. Because it seems like this tends to be a thing. We hear about the information. We consume it. We all go, tisk, 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 shake our head. We feel sad about it. But then life gets in the way and we think about other things because instantly we feel kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. Right? Because, of course, like I said, you don't want to jump into something and find yourself knee deep in something or causing more issues for that friend that just confessed or confided in you. You see what I'm saying? So like I said, it is a conversation nonetheless, I think, that needs to be had. There needs to be more conversations about this so that there's less of these types of cases and less of these men and women that are still going through this right now as we speak to this day. But like I said, I digress. I just hope that that's a conversation that we have out here in the very, very near future. Let's continue.
You know what? It is in the record. She was abused. She was abused by Naresh. And we know that going forward, we aren't afraid to speak up and call him what he is. He's an abuser.
Holly, specifically February. I mean, this is a date that multiple people are telling me she was really struggling in February in these months, and everyone was reaching out, giving her resources. I mean, just talk about how difficult it was also being that person, her ally, her friend, and knowing, that, and then knowing what happened months later.
Yeah, I think for me, I feel this unintentional wave of kind of victim shaming and blaming, and I want us to not do that. Mamta was offered resources. She had a huge circle of support. Why she wasn't able to take action and leave, that's not for us to question. So I ask that as we go forward, we can say we surrounded her with love, but let's not try to victim shame and blame. But the truth is, yes, February was a critical time that she was reaching out for support, and for whatever reason, she didn't move forward with those actions.
And what's next for all of you in your fight, and as you work to try and find some sense of closure, which may feel insurmountable?
I mean, I think our first focus, and you can see there's a community standing here, we will be in court. We are Mamta's voice. We are going to look Naresh, whether it's in the back of the head or the front of the face. We are here for Mamta. But even more importantly is making sure that their daughter is cared for. We've all really shifted gears. We have a GoFundMe that you guys can find. As of this morning, we've collected over $200,000 to go to the baby. And that's really our goal. What we
Wow.
do to honor Mamta is to make sure her daughter has the best future possible.
And have you gotten any updates on when her mom and her brother, when they're expected to get?
Yeah, I think we're not comfortable to go on the record with those details.
And at this time, we do want to have a justice for Mamta, and that's what we are focused on. And Gary, at this time, we do want to focus on justice for Mamta, and this is why our whole community is rally for this. And we want her back. We want her home back. We want to find her. We want to bring her back, and that is our main focus as well in that area.
Yeah, and I think
at this point, what does justice look like to you at this point?
Definitely have him pay for the price for what he has done, and that is very, very important. And I think Commonwealth are doing a wonderful job.
Yeah,
I think, and
we need him prosecuted to the fullest
Hmm.
extent of the law. Again, it was referred to that we are putting pressure that, Chief Lugo feels like he needs to rush to press charges. That's not true. We want more charges levied based on concrete evidence, knowing that may take time. But we feel comfortable that the Commonwealth is going to escalate charges up to capital murder, and we want him prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. But with that being said, we have to respect that this is not our case. This is held by the Commonwealth, and we're going to be here to support the Commonwealth.
Absolutely. At any moment, the evidence that was presented by the public didn't sway you at all. The why he sold the car, why he was attempting to sell the house. Did you find any validity in hearing their side of what he said?
No, I think it made me angrier. I understand his defense attorney should be there fighting for him, and not to diminish that at all. With that being said, I think he said some things that were categorically untrue and hurtful. He categorized the blood that was seen as the home as a nosebleed. It's not a nosebleed, right? The Commonwealth used Blue Star technology. They will.
Hold on. I'm sorry. So the defense even went to the next level. This lawyer, this defense lawyer that's representing Naresh, had the audacity to say that the red that was found inside the home, that was all over the bedroom, found inside the bathroom and all that stuff, he is trying to make that the equivalent to a nosebleed. That is, like I said, this lawyer. Who is this lawyer? Like I said, was he paid? Or was he just randomly assigned this job? Is this his first gig as a lawyer? Like, it's kind of ridiculous for you to sit there and say, oh, yeah, it was a nosebleed. How dare you? How dare you come after my client like this? All this is, unfounded information. That was a nosebleed. Come on, guys. Come on. Like, Nah, nah, nah.
We'll bring that into court as evidence when the time is right. But to diminish what happened to Mamta and refer to it as a nosebleed is an insult, right? No one's going to get arrested because someone had a nosebleed. So we
No
know
doubt.
volumes of blood, there were pooling of blood, there were things that we don't want to know about. But, I think a little shame should come to the defense for minimizing what the burden of evidence is.
One thing they mentioned is from the rocking wheelchair was there was a clear indication of the body was dragged from to the bathroom. What do you say about that? Because they say probably there was an incident happened somewhere in next to the wheelchair and was dragged to the bathroom probably.
Yeah, I think we have to rely and wait for the forensics to come out. Again, we're lay people in the community. With it does appear that whatever happened in the master bedroom and then continued into the master bathroom. But again, it's the burden is on the Commonwealth to bring in that concrete evidence.
And I'm sure that
Chances we're gonna find her body?
I hope so. I hope so. And let me tell you, I'm tired of her being referred to as a body or a body part, as his defense counsel referred her to. She is a person. She is a loved one. We need to bring her back. To the best of our ability, we want every bit of her back for her family.
oh, my name is Prava, last name is Duja. Absolutely. Prava, Prabhattarai is my middle name, and my last name is Deuja. Absolutely. I'm a community member, definitely. We're part of the family. We are the family here. Thank you. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for giving this.
Now, I think there's a little bit more. Like there's another interview that goes on. I want to share that with you guys too.
This is not just, we do not want this happen again.
Not to anyone.
Not to anyone. So we need to stand together as a community to do the job. And there's a lot to do, more to do.
And we were all galvanized by Nadia spreading the word. We've only just begun. We've got a lot of work to do, but we're going to do it together.
And I know there have been community searches and different community efforts. What's your message to police? Are you hoping? Police have said they're still hoping to find her, but just as the searches continue, I mean, how much are you really hoping to be able to bring her home?
We always have hope.
We don't want to take that hope out of our mind. We still want to have a hope for bringing her back. And we still want to see her. And we just don't want to think anything negative right now. We want her back and we're fighting for her to be home. And there's more to do for us. And just like you said, police are still, this is an open investigation, right? They're still in search. They're still doing their part, but there's a Commonwealth and they will be the one who's going to provide us all the update. So I'm very, very much.
They've got leads we don't have. They're following them up. We're going to let them do their we wouldn't stop them, and so we're not doing anything though that will hamper them. We will speak with them before we go and do anything idly.
And then also they will let us know if they need our help anywhere else. They have been very much communicating at the beginning, so they made it very clear to us if they need us, they will ask us for support and help.
And we will be there.
And we are very grateful all the agencies are involved, and that is what we needed.
And can you reiterate, just the sense of community support? There's loved ones, there's folks who unfortunately haven't gotten the chance to know her because they've been stripped of that. If you can talk about, you were saying, you may not know her personally, but she's like your daughter.
Absolutely. Here's the thing. We need to think like this. It could be anybody's daughter. It could be anybody's sister. It could be anybody's wife. It could be anybody. But we are community, right? And I did not know her personally, right? But a young lady was working on it. And then we kind of got in and focused towards helping her. Then we connected. Everybody connected. So the whole world is connecting. They have done indirectly or directly. Work, search, communicating, sharing the media posts. Everyone is part of this today. It is not just us saying the police. It is everyone's daughter, everyone's sisters.
My daughter's 2 years older. If anybody had done this to her, I would hope that I would have help, this kind of help. your friend.
Yes.
And I connected with them. I connected with a lot of other
Yeah.
people who are likewise wanted to help. So it's a huge, it's a huge thing for all of us to get support from each other.
Yes.
And thank you so much for you guys too.
Yes.
Yeah, everyone is helping indirectly or directly for this case.
And if you can just reiterate real quick, was there moments of nerves while you were, the defense was going through their arguments and prosecution was countering that, but was there a moment where you thought, oh my gosh, what if he gets out on bond?
Absolutely, that thought went through my mind, and I was, my heart was racing like crazy, and I was, only thing I can do is chant. I did it, and I have my prayer beads. I was chanting constantly. I did it like third round, and I stopped. So absolutely, it was a nervous wreck.
And I know you say it and spelled your name before, but if you can do that again for us real quick.
Certainly. Prava Bhattarai Deuja, Prabhattarai. Last name is Deuja.
And do you prefer going by first, middle, last, or just first and last, or?
Doesn't matter, whatever, however. Prava B Bhattarai, Prava B Deuja is fine, Prava Deuja is fine.
Okay. Now, again, this obviously is all terrible. Okay. The fact that all the information that we have, that they have taken out and given out so far, is, in my personal opinion, just scary. The fact that this is something that's been going on inside that there was DV going on inside that house for a very, very long time. And she was reaching out to somebody. She was talking to somebodies, it sounds like, trying to maybe find a way out, or at least to reach out to somebody to basically say, hey, I'm going through this and I need help. And again, I know that it can be very, very sticky, right? I think that this whole thing is, I think it's a very scary thing, no matter what. I mean, for someone to be living through it, and also to be somebody who is receiving the information about someone going through DV. Because you're sitting there going, okay, what can I do to help? How can I help? Right? How can I help in the best way possible? Because a lot of people are like, well, it ain't my business. So I'm scared to do something of that sort. Because, I don't want to do this, and this, or, I don't want to get myself involved because it might get messy and then I get dragged into the drama, so on and so forth. And I get those things. I get those concerns. But there's got to be a way that can be done, right? Things can be done in a proper way that can protect the person that's reaching out. Because you got to be honest. Let's be real. Somebody reaching out definitely says something about the desperation of the need for help. And so when I hear about those kinds of situations, like I said, they said that she had resources. I'm wondering what resources she actually had. Because, it could be a phone number. It could be, different things. I don't know. Maybe they were like, come stay with us for a little while, get away from him, so on and so forth. That could be it too. Don't even know. Okay. But there is that thing where people get scared to leave, right? People feel like there's no way out. People don't realize that the front door is right there. And it could or can be as easy as walking out the front door. But it's always that fear of the unknown once you walk out that front door. Now, like I said, I'm not here to victim shame. I'm not here to make her feel anything, any type of way at all, for the decisions that she's made in her life. But I do also say this as a cautionary tale to every single person out there that's going through something like this right now. I just read in the chat, somebody said, hey, for a while I had a book bag, a bag packed in my car just in case things hit the fan, just in case, so on and so forth. We talked about another case just about a week ago or so. She lost her life, but she was planning on D Warner. Now that's totally losing my mind. I'm totally slipping my mind. Hold on. I have her written down here. I feel like a jerk. But D Warner. Yes, D Warner. Okay. She allegedly was getting her stuff together so that she could leave Dale warn her, right? But unfortunately, I guess, he caught up to her, or there was one fight too many. And then, of course, she lost her life as well. But again, I keep saying this, but it is very true. We got to find new ways. Yes, the hotline and all that. Like, thank you, S-Dubs, for putting up that as well. Okay. You can even text 88788 to start a conversation in text message as well. You can correspond with the National DV hotline as well through that way. So, so if you feel like you need to talk to somebody and you don't want to be caught on the phone, you can send a text. It's as simple as that too. Okay. Well, and I know I say it's as simple as that, but I know it's not as simple. But like I said, just remember that you're not alone and there is a way out. Sometimes it's just being bold enough to just take that first step out the front door. That's all, right? And then you'll be glad you did it 5 minutes later, hopefully, right? But I'm frustrated with hearing these kinds of cases, always these types of cases happening in this type of way, right? A man or woman just doing terrible things to their loved one for a long time, and then suddenly they end up missing. I want to see if we can change that storyline for as many cases, as many possible pending cases in the future, right? Stop these cases from actually becoming cases. You see what I'm saying? That's what I'm trying to say here. But of course, when we find out more information, we are going to talk about that for sure. All right. I'm keeping an eye on this case because, this one's very interesting how it how it continues to unfold. And it all depends on what happens here. Will they find her? Will they find her? Right. The other thing is, will they find her alive? Will they find her remains? We don't know. But the way that they're making it sound, the way that room looked like, and that bedroom, the bedroom and that bathroom looked like, it does not look like it's going to be a situation where they're going to be finding her alive. But I'm not losing faith or letting go of that little glimmer of hope. That's still right there in the corner of my heart. All right. I'm hoping that she's found. But again, I don't think that's the case. I think she's going to be found I think her soul's passed on by now. Now it's a matter of just retrieving her remains and getting this man locked up for good. I'm praying for that. But I do have something I want to share with you guys. This is important, and I wanted to share this with you guys because I am actually very, very excited about this. I am having a very special guest coming onto the show tonight. Elaine Runyon Simmons is going to be on the show. Her daughter, by the name of Rachel Runyon, went missing 42 years ago today. It would be the 42nd anniversary of her disappearance. This young girl still is an unsolved mystery. People still do not know where it's an unsolved mystery. Of course, she was unalived by someone. They have not caught this monster, and it's been 42 years. She's 3 years old. She was playing with her friends and family outside, her siblings outside, 15 feet away from her home, just playing on a playground, when some strange, mysterious man walked up, said he had some candy in his car, and he took her. Weeks later, she was found. Now, the thing is this is still an unsolved mystery. 42 years. They still have not gotten the monster that allegedly did this unthinkable thing to this 3-year-old Rachel Runyon. Now, what's interesting about this is that there's been many, many theories about this. She was found unalive, okay, weeks later. And what's very frustrating about it is that her body was so badly decomposed that forensics, medical examiners, etc., could not determine certain things on what actually happened to her because of how badly decomposed her body was. There's been unsolved mystery episodes covering this case, and then some. Okay, because this still is a big case that has not been cracked. This monster's still out there if that person is still alive 42 years later. But this young girl lost her life at 3 years old, August 26, 1982, 42 years ago. It's pretty crazy stuff. So I will be having her mother, Elaine, on the show live tonight. Okay. She'll be with me and Jason Jensen, private investigator Jason Jensen. He has been investigating on this case. He will be sharing his thoughts about if there's any new developments, any theories revolving around this still 42-year-old unsolved case. So we will be having that conversation tonight during our variety show tonight at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. So be sure to put it in your calendar, make sure that notification bell is on so that you know when I go live, whenever I upload, because we will be talking about this and, of course, a bunch of other things in the variety show, but they will be on to discuss all of this and talk about this unsolved case. It's terrible. And the mother and the family are still trying to figure out what actually happened to Rachel. So be sure to tune in, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I think that's 5 p.m. Pacific, if I'm correct. All right. So be sure to tune in tonight. We will be having the exclusive. I think we're going to have the first interview of many. I mean, I think they're doing their rounds like Court TV, News Nation, all that stuff, you know, because it's a big case and it's still unsolved, right? So we will be talking to them tonight with an exclusive for sure. So be sure to tune in for that. Tonight, again, I'll keep on saying it over and over and over again, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time during our variety show. All right? I appreciate you guys just listening to me and hopefully being a part of the conversation for this. All right? But that is the show. I appreciate you guys for being here. It really does mean a lot. Again, you know, I hope that we get some sort of justice here very soon from Mamta. We need more clarity. This man was looking things up well in advance, guys. Well in advance to her disappearance. This is all premeditation. He premeditated this whole situation. Now it's a matter of if he's going to start squawking the doggone truth or not. Here's the hope, though. Hopefully that happens very, very soon. Real quick, Nikki, thank you so much. Oh, my Lord. For the super sticker, it really does mean a lot. Thank you so, so very much. That means the world to me. Thank you, thank you, thank you, okay? That means a lot, guys. But anyway, guys, it is time to get going. Much love to you guys. Make sure you hit that like button down below. Hit that reaction button. Don't forget to hit that follow button on all my social medias. Everything from Facebook all the way down to TikTok. Show some love over there. That'd be greatly appreciated. I'm on all of them. Okay, most of all of them. So check it out. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button here on my main channel, The Pascal Show. Go over to the Pascal Show clips, my second channel. Crush that subscribe button over there as well. That'd be greatly appreciated. All right. Don't forget to hit that join button down below. Become a member. Check out my Patreon, patreon.com/The Pascal Show. And of course, do not forget to check out PascalMerch.com. All right. PascalMerch.com. The stores are open. Go check that stuff out. I'm sure you're going to find something there that you can put on your body. It's starting to get cold. It's eventually going to get cold. It's hot as hell outside, but it'll eventually get cold here soon. So go over there. Get yourself a hoodie. Get you some joggers. Whatever. Go and enjoy it, okay? But anyway, guys, it is time to get going. I will see you guys very, very soon. Have a blessed one, guys. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. We'll talk soon. This is the Pascal Show. Bye.